Live here. Yeah, it's live. Okay, so let's just get everything ready here. Inside here, I have the charcoal and this magic. This is a great way to keep your charcoal so it doesn't snap into a million pieces, which kind of does anyways. I'm sure there are better ways to keep it, but I like to keep it in here. It's always easy to find it. So now this is not the perfect angle, but let's roll up my sleeve here. But I'm just going to go ahead and practice the very basics of the head shape here. And let's just say that the head is at a slight angle. Why is that not going? Okay. Huh, strange. There we go. Okay. So yeah, that's, now we can dial that back a little bit where we want. And so that's the first thing. The first thing you got to do is you got to make your oval. And then, of course, you've got to figure out how much forehead they want to have. Now, I'd kind of actually like to get the tilt a little bit more this way. So little bit more this way. So there. It's all in the arm movement there. Okay, so now that we've got, let's say that this is basically our head shape here. This is our forehead. We're going to claim that as our forehead. And while we claim that as the forehead, I'm going to get some different charcoal. I don't really like that piece. I don't know. I'll get a smaller piece, even though, yeah, that seems better, even though the bigger piece is. So this is called, of course, this is called plumb lines, when you delineate the distances between things here. So, you know, you can give them whatever forehead shape you want. Let's call this the eyebrows, starting about here and coming around to here. So we're just going to make somebody up, make up the kind of nose that we want, you know. You know what you ought to do? Sometimes people can get their sort of specifications, you know, like everybody's got a specification of a type of person that they really like. And if you look at enough photos of the type of person that you like, and you start to see, you know, what kind of character, what kind of features that person has. You know, maybe you like guys with big noses, or you like girls with small features, or girls with big features. So this is good to do once in a while, to just you know, draw something from your imagination and try to. And a lot of it will be, this sort of subconscious thing that happens. Um, you know, just happens anyways. Uh, so So let's put a little bit of patch over here so we can use that to do some shading in there. What I love about using your fingers, you can always take that out. Of course, that's the great thing with charcoal. So now you can start to see the face is taking shape here. There are certain characteristics of every face, which is, this line comes to a curve and then continues and makes this curve, but typically it's not so wide, right? I mean, it's not usually that far out, so let's keep this. Let's keep this a little bit small. Small mouth. Okay. So now there is one thing that I just did. I just leaned in and then I made that mouth. It should be a little bit slightly more of an angle to where I'm sitting, but I think we can fix that. So now never make this line down here too permanent. This is your chin line. So always want to keep that loose and free. Now see, I can really change a lot based on that chin, on how much chin I give her here. And I'm not going to be doing too much in this video, too much erasing. I'm just going to let the charcoal do the work here. Now, I'd like to make this a little bit narrower. There. And you think, what kind of face do you like? Do you like a narrow face? Do you like a wide face? What's your dream girl, your dream guy, or whatever? Now, this nose is a bit long. For some reason, everybody has their own tendencies. They have a tendency to make the nose a little bit too long. It's just a tendency that people have, or they make a mouth too big, everybody has their peculiarities, and I guess I'm no different. Now, I don't like to put too much darkness in there. I'll make a patch over here instead, and then I'll just, I'd prefer using my finger in some of this, or using the paper blender that people use there. So we can add some sort of little highlight by the nose there. Give it some character. Now, if we really want to bring the eye down to get closer to the nose, and now we can even shift the eyebrow down if we want. We're not locked in, see? We're not locked in for the eyebrow yet. We could even bring the eye way down. Let's see if we could do it. Does that work? Well, maybe. It's pretty low compared to the eyebrow, see? So we can just play with it. I mean, if you're going to do somebody sleeping, you can do that. But let's bring it up a little further to the eyebrow. And now we're talking. And I like that little black spot right in the corner here. So now we'll double check that that we have our chin the way that we want it. I would make it a little rounder. Now the tendency on the chin is that you make it a little bit too there. I like that a little bit better. You can make somebody a lot younger by moving that chin. Typically, if you want to make somebody older, you can make that a lot longer, because as you age, the face gets longer. So now we're going to either give them, depending on how they're going to be looking, now we want to give them the gaze. So where will you be looking? I just do something real quick. Hold on. So if you have any comments, hold on one second. I'm live streaming now. You can watch. Okay. So let's see here. I've got to click that on copy, paste. My mom and dad maybe watch for giggles and kicks. Okay. So now back to it. So now we've got the eyebrow here, which usually go up and then over. Now, this is where the rubber meets the road. How do we want to make this eye? Now, don't worry, you can't screw it up unless, of course, you screw it up. So now, once you get better at this, you can really choose how the gaze, how the angle of the eyes are going to be looking. Or you can just put a few dabs inside the eye, and that will start to give you some kind of a gaze. Now, the thing about where we are now is that you start to see things in your imagination. You start to see the hair, you start to see other things. So you let your imagination start to take you a little bit. So this is why, well, I don't usually add the hair at this point because it's tempting. It's very tempting, but I typically don't want to do that. So now it's weird, drawing faces is weird because, sometimes you think, wow, that looks like somebody I know. It's a little creepy, to be honest with you. Sometimes, what you end up drawing. And hold on. Check something. Oh, wow. Okay, so as I was saying, yeah, the faces can be a little bit creepy. Strange. Okay. So this is where I kind of want to get my blender, but I won't yet. I'm just going to use everything with my hand and my fingers. So now we're starting to get a face is starting to form. Now I don't want to get too dark over here. There. Now you'll be surprised that actually your subconscious might even draw your wife. In fact, if your wife is your ideal of lips and ideal of nose and things like that, you might even default to draw them. It can be a little bit weird like that. And I think that's a little bit too low, you see? See how the eye is too low? But like I said, I'm not gonna erase except for with my finger. But I am just gonna make sure that this line is gonna be right there. So put it a little bit further up. And then, yeah, bring it in a little bit more. This is the money deal, right? This is where you get this is where the prize is, okay? Is getting those eyes to look like, to look like this side of the face. So you've got that mirror aspect of this side should be a mirror of this side, and vice versa. This side should mirror this side. So you can kind of take your hand and go like that and just see the different sides like that. So now I can see where this side needs work. So that's not how I want it. I've got to get this eye balanced with this eye. So I'm going to come up here a little bit more. A little bit more. Okay. I can also look inside my video over here and see. There. Now that looks like a little better. A little bit more what I want. Water break here. And maybe I'll take a tea break. While I'm taking a tea break, I feel like I need a bit of food of some kind here. So, how about a little bit of sugar? Yeah. Let's do a little bit of sugar. Where's the cup? Are you still there? Actually, it's funny. I get more watching the moment I leave. It's kind of fun. A little bit of that brown sugar for you, for the blood, the glucose. And then we need a spoon to stir that stuff. Okay, we're back. Wow, talk about dizzy head. All right. So, as I was saying, is getting that eye to be a real mirrored image or close to it. I mean, there's a pretty good range of, sort of, you don't want it to look cross-eyed. You don't want it to look like a robot. And, so you got to get that. You got it. Mostly it's these two where these are coming together, should really come together at that point. That's really important. So, oh wow. See, I put too much in the mouth now. Looks a little scary. Okay, so wow. Look at that gaze. Okay, so I kind of want to change the mouth. Somebody told me once that the only dark line in the mouth should be that middle line. So don't do what I just did by making a very dark, dark line. Keep that Keep that nice and light. Keep that nice and light, and then this is nice and rounded lips. So yeah, we really should erase that. That would be a good idea. Well, already 9:29 a.m. So not quite ready to put the hair in yet, but you could do that little dimple thing in the corner that's kind of sometimes there, you know. And then where do you put the neck? That's sort of the next. How do you put the neckline? Okay. So you can get that real Asian look by bringing the eye down here. That's the Asian look. And then get those cheeks. So let's see. Just for fun, I made this giant hairdo. Yeah, just for fun. Okay, so now I could detail out a little bit more of the nose with this. And a little bit more in the nose. It's three-dimensional nose. Whoops. Oh, see, now it's too much rubbing now. Let's see. Say that this is going to be anyway, the point of this exercise is that you're drawing from your imagination station, and you're creating a person. So now I personally think that the nose is a bit too long. And now I'm going to make these nostrils really, geez, look what that does. See, you can start to really ruin something. So I'm giving you a chance to learn from my mistakes. Now, a lot of times people are always drawing and they're doing everything perfectly. I want you to see, you know, because you can easily see, hey, that guy's not doing, that guy's screwing up. So we're always, the judgmental mind is always, trying to judge what they would do better. So there, we're out of charcoal. Got to get some more charcoal. I'm going to break this piece. Put that in there. So if you just join me, some of this charcoal is not very good. This is not the quality that I got in Japan for sure. That's for sure. Yeah, I really miss the charcoal in Japan. Super good stuff. So now what I would have done differently in this is I would have put the nose a lot closer. And but it does somebody. And then you can also make those eyebrows nice and dark too. It's always fun. Now let's see what happens if we put that nose closer. And we give a different nose. Wow, look at that. Look at the changes there. You got to have that darkness underneath the nostril. Now the only problem with this, now this is starting to look like a sort of like an African woman. So now I kind of want to move the mouth a little bit closer too. Since let's just play with it a little bit. Experiment. See how that looks. Now, you can see what's wrong. You can see that the mouth is too close. There's got to be a good gap in the mouth. Let's bring it down. There. Now, what looks wrong with that? No, in some ways, nothing looks wrong with that. It could be how somebody looks. But I would say that it looks like more of like a, what do you call it? Trans, is it safe to say? Okay. So can make that, wow, coming in even more. This has to be squared off, okay? That's got to be squared off. Wow, see what happens when you draw that too dark? I'm showing you everything wrong here in this video, so you can use your imagination to see what you would do. There. So you could shade this down. Wow, you could make the nose real big. So, yeah, I didn't use an eraser. Now we can start over. We can keep the eyes the way they are, and then we can adjust the shape of the face. We can actually bring her back. We can take away some of the head and make her a tiny little person. Just make her more petite by bringing in the head a little bit more. Bringing in the head, bringing in the, making everything smaller. So, wow. That's, again, I'm just playing around so you can see. I'm not going to try to do everything correct here. I want you to see some of the mistakes that I'm making. Now, obviously, this is very narrow. There's very narrow gaps down in here. So, you know, why does everything look so big? Well, the eyes are kind of far apart. The nose could be a little bit too long. The mouth is pretty big. And the hair is very big. So it almost looks like Tina Turner. So I would like to make this line come into here. That's that heart shape right in there. That's a little bit close. And then it's a little bit close here. But now it's sort of looking more like Priscilla Presley, Elvis's ex-wife. At least in my opinion. But we got to give her a smaller mouth. Definitely a smaller mouth. Now, if you saw the wedding of Priscilla Presley, she's wearing this white white headdress thing. But I don't really like that nose. I don't like what I did to the sides so far of that. But again, I'm going to try to do everything without erasing and try to make it beautiful without erasing. Yeah. Just make everything. See, that has to really line up to the middle. Mm-hmm. So, yeah, certain things line up in the face. You know, the nostril will line up pretty much to the corner of your eye. So if this is in too far, you know, then it's going to look weird. If it's out too far, it looks weird. You've got to start to see this line here where the nostril lines up. And of course, also where the corner of the mouth will line up a lot of times to the center of the eye. So those are typical lines. I don't think she has to look so big and burly. That's the word. We can trim it down, you know, by making the mouth. Making the mouth smaller. Some mouths are more square over there. Some are more round. Like that. But what you'll notice is that there's an overall tone that is set with the face. In other words, her basic look is becoming set, you know. And once you got the eyes and you got the life in the eyes, you could put a nose ring in there. Why not? You know, put some eyelash. It's up to you, you know, of course. And this really has to look quite right. The way that this comes in. This is a line that you really got to practice. These coming in lines from cheek into. It's a real particular shape. But again, you don't want to draw that too dark. And this needs to be enough space in between. You got to have enough cheek space. And this has to be equal proportion. Each side of the face needs to have that mirror. So I can already see in this picture that these cheeks are really out of